People are starting to come in now, and we're about to let my man Crazy D. We're gonna get Crazy D in there, but I do want to say again,
right?
Anybody, you see the link? I put the link into the chat box. So if you want to come in and talk to Cochise, please do so. So we go get Crazy D in here, and
there he is.
That man talk to Cochise.
We were talking about that. That's where mixtapes started, out of his store.
Out of his store
while he was working there. Yeah,
about
from
it.
Art.
Yes, that's what we were talking about. That's what he talked about.
Yeah, because they used to tell him.
He's getting in. We're gonna unmute him. He's unmuted, so we're waiting for his camera to. You know, Crazy D coming from Crazy D has his own really dope show, so he gonna come in with the live background, green screen. Look at him.
There he is.
He got the correct lighting and all of that.
He got all the hair.
You know, I got a lamp. I got a lamp behind my thing. Crazy D probably got the big ring. He got the real.
Gonna change hats.
What's going on, Crazy D? Talk to us, bro, and go ahead and talk to Cochise. Do what you do.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
hear you now. Yeah.
First of all, what's up, Cochise?
What's up, man? How you doing?
All right. Yep. You know, like I was telling Chill.
Mm-hmm.
Last week's interview, incredible. This week's interview, even more incredible.
Thank you, brother.
I was telling him that it was you, Cochise, and DJ Hawk, that when I heard you on Club Style, I said, this is what I want to do. Right?
Wow.
So, you know, I credit y'all to LC Rock. Y'all had similar things going on there, and I was yeah, this is something I want to do. I was 11 years old. I said, this is what I want to do, and it springboarded me from there. Then we got to meet, and then you called a radio station when I was on college radio at State.
Go up there. Yep.
And you said, I'm your biggest fan. I said, well, who is this? And you said, this is Cochise. I could have fell on the floor. And then it was, I believe I said it was Trans Europe Express, but it was actually JB's Monorail.
JB's Monorail.
I had to get the import later, but you let me use that record. You came up to the radio station, let me use that record, and then later you came over the house to pick it back up. So, I mean, it's just things like that I remember, that I say, you know, this dude is a good dude. Because how many people loan a record that a person needs, and it's a new young person coming up out the box, you know, DJing parties, you know. So I appreciate that.
Problem. That's that. Like I said, I was telling Chill earlier and everybody, I always tried to help, you know, whoever wanted to learn this game. I wanted to, you know, do everything I could to help and help make you successful. So you are successful, and glad I was a part of it, man.
Oh, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to cut your wisdom, D, but if I'm not mistaken, Cochise, Crazy D was one of the first places that gave you access to sell your mix CDs.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, you figure I went through about I want to say a 6-month span. I wouldn't even make them. I would go in there, and they would let me know you're not doing everything that you think you're doing, right? So that's when I got in the mixtape mix CD game. You know, just started picking up my game, because that was a DJ Supreme, and I came in there one weekend, and then Art told me he stopped making mixtapes. And I said, what do you mean he stopped? Like, he just stopped, made money, stopped. So now I looked at it like there's a huge hole out there where somebody has got to fill that void. So it might as well be me.
Yeah. That Hits was a few years before my time. But you still have my stuff in there. But do you remember this, Cochise?
Yeah.
You called me on the phone. It's funny that you're talking about the RIA story.
Yeah.
You called me on the phone and you said, clear the shelves off. They're looking for anybody that's doing anything. You got any of your stuff, you got anybody else's stuff, take it off the shelf. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I was like, you know, I was grateful for that, because all over the city, people were getting knocked.
Yeah.
And then, you know, no one that I knew of ever came in, because I actually sold real CDs. You know, besides the mix were real too, but I'm talking about industry stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know, Well, I'm gonna say what was happening was, a lot of people were getting busted in New York, and I didn't know that I was a top seller in New York on Canal Street. Because I remember one time in the New York Times, they had my CD with a couple of other CDs on there too. Matter of fact, I was in a lot of the documentaries. My CDs were sitting across there, so they knew the route, and then people were buying CDs all over from everywhere on distributors, and RAA was sweeping the United States. So, me, I'm calling who I knew, like, get stuff off the shelf. A lot of stores didn't believe you, like, oh, come on, it's not that serious. And I'm like, man, you got to get it off the shelf. I'm letting you know,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you
So
were the ones I was telling.
I
Yeah.
have questions for you.
Yeah.
Do your thing, bro.
I don't know if you actually said this, but one is, how did you come up with the Cochise name? Was it off the movie?
Yeah, he was just asking me about
Yeah,
that.
we went through that. Give
Yeah,
him the
I'll tell
brief. Give
him.
him the brief version.
It had nothing to do with, because we were going to talk about the nickname. See, you figure I came over to the United States with a nickname.
Mm-hmm.
So before I had a nickname, everybody was called Billy, Kevin. I mean, think about it.
Right.
But you were Kevin, that Billy was, nobody had nicknames. So over, I used to run track. That's how I got to Kent State. So I'll do the short version. I was running a race trying to set the record. So back then, like nowadays, if you do one false start, that person's disqualified. But back in the day, you could do 2 false starts. So I was the one to beat. So runners used to, go against me, like the guy in lane 1 would jump. One lane 4 would jump. So I'm sitting there, So as this was happening, on the 3rd time, somebody put a feather in my, my bandana. Because I always wear a bandana, black bandana. So left it in there, won the race. I was called Running Deer, this and this and that. So when football season came back around, I put Cochise on the back. So I never saw Cooley High and all of that until I got stateside. But that's how I came. So when I got to Kent State, first people I knew was Jerry, Clavin, Billy. What's your name? Cochise. And everybody thought, like, Cochise, what kind of name? Because nobody had nicknames back then. I had the name. Yeah. And that's how Cochise stuck. Had nothing to do with DJing.
When did you know that you talked about DJing?
Yep.
When did you know that you were good as a DJ? What was the event? What was the exact moment that you knew that you were
Exact
good?
moment. When I went and got these shirts said DJ Cochise, this is when I knew, man. That Chill always seemed to be with me at these moments, right? But yeah, it was us, Chill, Finesse. We all went to Randall Park Mall. It was on a Saturday, and us walking through the mall, you would have thought it was Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. All the young people, whoever was in the mall, were behind us reading our shirts, and that's when I knew how big we were. So you figure, rap started at Kent State. That's about an hour and a half, depending on how fast you drive. Had nothing to do with Cleveland. So we were already known there. So coming to Cleveland, being on 108, there was no tie into Cleveland for me, except Chill and all of them, So I had no tie. But when I went to Randall and saw that impact, I was like, wow.
Man, let me tell you, D, we went to Randall because we was bomb squad. We was full out bomb squad back then. But Cochise was, like I said, if we was the Jacksons, he was Michael. If we was the Bulls, he was Michael. And I had my shirt that said Bomb Squad on the front, and then on the back it had Chill like 40 below. But they came and they saw DJ Cochise, they mobbed him. So, hey, I guess that's when he knew. But Chiefs, I think Crazy D still might have something to ask you, but I'm gonna bring in Vince, the man who we both credited, DJ Lonnie V, with being when we got to Kent, as far as DJs, he was Mr. Raskeller. So I'm gonna bring Vince Robinson in, and I'm gonna let you talk to him. And D, go ahead if you got some more questions for Cochise. Go ahead and get it in.
Bring it on, baby. And there's something I want to ask Vince too. I always want to ask him for decades. Vince,
he's getting in. Vince is coming in.
And D, I see him.
Got some more questions for Cochise. Go ahead and get it in. Okay, somebody's gonna have to turn their Their sound down if they're watching it on Facebook.
You gotta put
All right, there you go. All right, we
Crazy
good.
D, yeah, go ahead, baby.
Yeah, so you knew you were popular, but
Yeah.
what I'm trying to get to is the technical side of the game as being a DJ. When did you know? Because I once talked to you before, and I don't know if you remember this, but you were telling me that there was, because you talked about the guy who stayed there for only 1 year, but you were saying that there were battles in the dormitories between Cleveland and New York DJs, and it was some scratches that went back that you probably did, something like that. You told me, and I'm trying to figure out when did you know that you were good on the technical side?
On the technical side, probably that DJ I'm talking about, probably Kid Finesse, because he was our New York DJ. He was the one. So yeah, and probably back then I probably wasn't pumping up his name too much because we had that rivalry. So it was that DJ from New York. I remember me saying that a lot. Like, it was always that DJ.
That pissed Finesse off to no
all the time. I
end.
would never say his name, but everybody knew who he was. It was
That pissed
DJ
him off to
New York.
no ends.
Yeah. So he was so competitive because I guess he was, I had the bigger name, but he was conquering the campus on his own. So you got to remember, while I'm going back and forth to Cleveland, Ohio State, and all these colleges, and he's every week on campus. So he's building his name. And back then, if you want to be known, you had to come through Kent State almost rapping it. I mean, that's where it was, right? So, yeah, I say Kent State in my dorm room's apartment being better than Kid Finesse. That's when I knew I could be a little better because he definitely picked the game up. And he was the only one on that level,
So what you were telling me back then about there being battles between you and the New York DJ, because that's how you said it, by the way.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And that's when you knew that you were technically good, and because they were on a national setting, some of those cutting techniques went back and came out and were exposed first by NYC, but they really were a Kent State thing.
Well, let me tell you. Let me add something to this because I was there the whole time. And Cochise, had for a long time. Cochise had the block to itself, and Finesse came in with all that swag and all that energy and all that bravado because he was from Queens, and Queens, but he moved to Youngstown, but he was a Queens, New York City dude. And he had all the New York City cuts. He knew all the cats that was out there, and he knew about the B-boys. And so he knew that Cochise was the man. Finesse spent his every waking hour trying to prove to anybody he could that he was better than Cochise. If somebody came to the campus to meet Cochise and Finesse heard about it, because me and Finesse was roommates, he'd bring them, I need you to come with me. And he'd be in there on the turntables, killing it, talking about, can Cochise do that? Can Cochise do this? But they went back and forth. But, Cochise was the name. He was the template. And but like Finesse, like Cochise said, Finesse had mad crazy skills. Plus he had that whole New York City swag, and he would go back and forth some summers back to New York.
Mm-hmm. I had a lot of battles like Edinburgh with the old state, and just the stuff that people would hire me to DJ and call it the DJ battle, but the other DJs weren't doing what I was doing, so I'd win, but turn into a Cochise party. But yeah, it all at Kent State, man, because college yourself, you have an influx of people from other cities, other states, and as time went on, then you get other DJs that pop up. They're from these different cities, so they bring their styles or whatnot. But back in our day, it was me and Finesse, and Zoom was out there, but definitely
right. Now, speaking of that, to recognize the OG in the building, the man that we have in the house right now, me and Cochise can tell you when we got to Kent State, there might have been other DJs,
Yeah.
But we didn't know who the hell they were because it was only one DJ that we knew about at Kent State University. He was the man. He had anytime if somebody else got a chance to DJ, it's because this man right here had something else to do. So I want to bring on in the building my big brother, Vince Robinson. Everybody around Cleveland knows him as Vince Robinson. But
Yeah.
anybody from Kent State knows that's DJ Lonnie V.
It was Lonnie V. And it's funny because sometimes I'm out in public and someone will walk up to me and say, "Hey, Lonnie." And when they say, "Hey, Lonnie," I know where it came from. But
Okay.
I just want to express this, man. I am so happy for both of you because whether you realize it or not, I lived my dreams through you. What happened to me when I left Kent State was I got into radio news. I was a news reporter at WHLO. I left WKNT and I went to Akron. I started working at WHLO News Talk. And while I was doing that, you guys were giving birth to careers in hip hop. And when we were at Kent, I wrote my tune. I wrote a tune that could stand up next to the best of them back then. Right. Y'all know it because you heard it when I did it. And I still I still do it, you know. And I, you know, sometimes I feel like maybe I should just do it now. You know what I'm saying? Because there is an audience for it. I have fantasies about shooting my video in the student center at Kent State University.
V, do it, man. Do it.
But you know, aside from that, you know, it does my heart so much good to see how well you guys did. You know, I mean, you know, Chill, you being a recording artist, Cochise. I always thought you were from Cleveland, man. I never knew.
Well, I was born in Cleveland, but you know the story now.
He got Lee Harvard roots.
Yeah.
Right, I got Lee Harvard roots.
Okay, but, you know, the fact remains that you have enjoyed such great success, you know, for you to have been at all those clubs and doing all the things that you did and all the accomplishments. You can't say enough about that, you know, and what it goes to show, and especially you, Chief, with your aptitude, you know, carrying a 3.8 average at an institution like Kent State, that's nothing to sneeze at. Just to be able to perform on that level says a lot about who you are. But the fact that you could take that level of intelligence and apply it to your craft and the marketing and all the other things that you did to be successful, you know, that is a true testimony to the width of who you are, you know, not just a DJ, a businessman, a promoter, you know, and having skills in other areas of life, but being able to be successful at that. Because very few of us ever attain that level of success. You talk about getting a check for $40,000, for $80,000. How many people ever see anything like that in their lives? They can't even fathom having an ability to do that. But you didn't let your thinking prohibit you from achieving that kind of success. And the fact that you had to deal with the litigation and the lawsuits and all that other stuff, you know, that kind of stuff cripples somebody because they let the negativity of it all prevent them from moving forward. But despite all of that, you say, look, what do I got to do? You create a plan, you work that plan, and you still standing today. So who's winning? One of the number one things that we deal with as a people right now is being victims. If you look at what happened in Georgia, and what I'm hearing is that this happened not days ago, but months ago, and now we just hearing about it.
Right.
You know, so
Days ago, yeah.
So they push this kind of imagery out to us to instill in our minds eternal victimhood. And as long as we think in terms of being victims, we never see ourselves as victors. But when you look around in life, you see victories like your victory, like Chill's victory. You know, I don't know my brother Crazy D, but I would imagine that he's been through things that he went through, you know, and then came out on top.
That brother in Vegas doing his thing right now.
So there it is. There it is. You know, but you know, the biggest thing of it all is that every last one of us got out of the hood. We may come back to it. We may live in it. Cause 105 in the Claire, man. I'm 6 streets away from Bone Thugs and Harmony. All right. And I was here, and I was here when they were on their come up. You know what I'm saying? Right. But they left, they came back, they did something with their lives, and we have to liberate ourselves from a hood mentality and realize that we have a global presence. We have an ability to connect on a global level. I'm sorry I went off, but
hey, you do what you do, bitch. You know, you can say whatever you want to say. Take as much time.
I want to ask you one question.
Okay, before Cochise asks you the question, Vince,
I've been waiting 30 years.
Okay, before he asks you the question, I want to know where you watching when Cochise said that when he got there, he wanted to take out Lonnie V.
I didn't hear that. But I can imagine it being said, and I can understand why. And see, the whole birth of hip hop was about who was the baddest.
Right.
And in order to be the baddest, you got to feel like you are. If you don't feel like it, you're going to get taken out. So, and I had no issue with turning over the reins, because I had my time there and it was time for me to move on to something else. And that's exactly what I did. I can't even remember what the conditions were that led to that, but I didn't lose any sleep over it. I just, made my move. And like I said, I'm happy for your success. It does my heart a whole lot of good to know that someone could come behind me and take things to the next level. My career as a DJ was short-lived, man. I think I went to Harry O's in Akron, and I may have DJ'd at Harry O's for a few months. And then I ended up moving to Cleveland, and that was that. And when I got to Cleveland, my mind was on other things and I was in a completely different realm. So it wasn't even conducive to me, being a DJ or even being involved in hip hop on that level. But, that's just life.
But Vince, I don't know what you did at Harry O's, but at Kent State University, brother, Coach Cecil tell you, we talked about this. You were the man. You were the man, homie. So I'm interested to hear this 30-year-old question to Coach Cheese.
I was going to ask him this question because I asked this other guy that knows this guy. So what years were you there? I got there in 79. You were there 78, 77. When were you there?
Yeah, I was there from 1975 to 1980. And my recollection is after I graduated, I came back and I was in the Rathskeller for a few months after that. And then after that transpired, then that's when you came in.
So the question Coach has always wanted to ask you, was Arsenio Hall popular or not in Kent? Because when I got there, I never heard of Arsenio Hall. He gets on TV and tries to claim like he grew up in Cleveland. He was at Kent State and all this stuff. What was he popular in Kent? Did he ever live in Cleveland? Did you know him? And there's another one. What's the other brother?
Okay, well, when he answered that, I can answer some Arsenio Hall Cleveland questions, but the Kent State questions, right. I'm gonna let Vince go ahead and handle that.
And Steve Harvey, there's another one say he went to Kent State.
Okay.
Now, that was in your. Did you know these people? They just trying to claim.
Yeah.
So he was there.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. And there's word on the street about that whole Arsenio situation. But Arsenio was there, but he wasn't there for a long time. And he no disrespect to Arsenio, but he was not a popular person on campus. The same thing with Steve. Steve was there. He was there for a season. But Steve ain't claiming to have graduated from Kent State University. So, people come and people go. Some people are there for a season. Some people are there for seasons. Right. Kevin Conwell will tell you, and he told me this last night. He reminds me about this all the time. When I did my gig at the Rathskeller, I would say some of y'all here on the 7-year plan.
And some of them on the 1-year plan.
And some of them were on the 1-year plan. And some of them, when I started, we were in quarters. So you might last 1 or 2 quarters and then you take your raggedy butt back to Cleveland. So, he was there. I don't recall him being that relevant from my perspective. Now,
Well, obviously, he was there long enough to pledge Q. He pledged Omega Psi Phi
oh yes,
at Kent State.
Okay.
yeah, I was
That's
thinking more of
Steve Harvey, not Arsenio.
I was saying more about Arsenio than Steve. And Steve came back to Cleveland, you know, and then he hung out for a minute.
Man, I remember Steve Harvey. Coaches, let me tell you, Steve Harvey, anybody remember the time he was the mean ass dude who worked at Man Talk, where if you couldn't even come in there and look around, he'd be like, "What you looking at? You ain't buying nothing." I'm like, who this mean dude up in here acting on me like that? But yeah, so I remember. But real quick, I knew Arsenio since I was a kid. Arsenio's uncle, everybody talk about Arsenio's parents. All these parents, his relatives were pastors. His uncle, Pastor Martin, lived next door to me on Walden on Lee Harvard, where I grew up at. And Arsenio used to come over there when I was little and do magic tricks. So I was happy.
Cleveland roots.
He was a magician. And so he would come over and like make birds appear. I'm like, man, this dude is fantastic. He going places. That Arsenio is go be somebody. But yeah, that was when I was a little kid that Arsenio would come over next door and do magic tricks. And the next thing I know, I see him as Arsenio Hall. So he was from that area, and then he went to Warrensville as well. So he was between Warrensville and Cleveland. But it's true. But that was Vince could tell you better than that about those two at Kent State than I could.
Yeah.
Because I was there when you was there, Coach. You already know.
All right.
Right. So All right. So now I know. Okay. So they're real. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
They were both there.
All right.
Okay. And I want to say again, if anybody else wants to get in, I put the link into the chat. And J. Cool, if you're on there assisting, since you giving me cues and questions to ask, go ahead and copy and paste the link in again if you can. And if you want to, J. Cool, instead of telling me ask all these questions, jump on in here and ask some of these questions your own damn self. So but J. Cool is hard at work on that Cleveland hip hop documentary. So he's in there getting it in.
I can't wait to see it. Cochise, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Being that you were big in the distribution end, I was big on the retail side.
Yeah.
The difference today for the people coming up, for the youngsters coming up, what's the difference today between how you market it and promote it and how you're going about marketing and promoting your son, CJ Rip?
Yep.
There we go. Yeah. C-Drip. Yeah, it's a big difference. Back then, the two ways to come up, with radio, without radio. So I had a little of both, but the area you're talking about was without radio. So your friend are the record stores. We did that on consignment, and you try to get distribution like Art Galaxy or Kermit Henderson and any of those guys, or if you're lucky, do it through Camelot and Select the Hits like I did. But the big difference is now, because I know when my son talks to me, I had to learn again. So I'm trying to coach him some of the old school ways, which are very important, like come through the clubs, get the radio mixes, the explicit mixes, all that. But his thing about links, YouTube hits, and that kind of thing. So that was foreign to me, right? DRT, how they track the radio. So I'm learning that game. But yeah, there's a big difference. It's still business. So I'm trying to, relay that to him. But, he's an artist right now doing all the other stuff. So I'm doing the business side, trying to help him out.
Does the flyer game in this era, does the flyer game still have an important position within this marketing and promotion?
I think if you hit your target audience, and if you know who that audience is, if you can get them all in one spot, I would say yes. So if you can do it along that way, I think it may be. Yeah, I think you want to hit them one-on-one still. I mean, you got the internet, but you get so much stuff online, you don't know what to, what's what. But if you can, I used to always like hand-to-hand combat if I did it. I would love to go to a club, and I don't think anything's wrong with this. If you can find a new way to do it, we're under different circumstances now with coronavirus. But, people used to love to see Cochise handing out a flyer. When that club ended, I'm handing you a flyer asking you to come to my function. That's how I did it. Hey, if you have time, can you come to Cochise's function? I'm Cochise, so I would ask people. I didn't have an arrogance about it. People seem to connect with me.
I do want to say again, J. Cole, thank you. J. Cole has put the link into the chat. So anybody else who wants to join in on the Zoom, you see the link in the chat. Go ahead and hit up the link and join the conversation with the legendary DJ Cochise. Also, you see the link in there if you want to donate something to Chill Talk, because we're trying to bring it to you any which way we can. You see it in there. You can hit me up at Cash App, $money to Chill. Keep that Chill Talk brand going. We're not, and Vince can tell you we're not, well, Vince, I think you might still be, are you still broadcasting from WERE?
No, I'm doing it from home.
Right, but I'm saying, are you remotely, not at the building, but are you still on WRE? Because some people
Yes,
are doing it
Saturday
remote.
mornings at 11.
Okay, so I'm gonna let Vince shout that out, but I'm gonna let you know I'm not at the station right now or broadcasting through the station, so we don't have our commercials running. So if you want to donate to the Chill Talk brand, and as you can see, we're doing stuff on Fridays. We're gonna be doing stuff on YouTube. Haney is gonna be doing stuff. We got movie stuff coming up. We have some interesting interviews coming up. So, go ahead and donate to Chill Talk, whatever you have. And I'm gonna and also because we not set tripping. I'm gonna go ahead and let Vince go ahead and shout out, where you can see him, how you can reach him, and anything he wants to let us know. And I'm gonna do the same thing for Crazy D as well.
Right. Well, right now, as you said, I'm doing 360 Info Network with Lynn Hampton on Hamptonio, Saturday mornings at 11 on 1490, newstalkcleveland.com, and also on Facebook Live. I'm happy to announce, and maybe I'm letting it out of the bag, but my recording session is set for next Tuesday. I'm launching a brand new show. So you heard it first here. It's called Open Door Cleveland, and it's an extension of the brand of talk show that I do at Community Focus out in Macedonia. So I'll be doing some of those kinds of interviews. I'll be doing some of the same kinds of interviews that I do on 360 Info. It's going to be about recognizing local folk who are doing things, local folk who have stories to be told. Chill, I got to talk to Dick Peary, man. I just want to sit down and have a conversation with him for an hour or so. And
I can make that happen for you.
Yeah, get some history. We were supposed to do it back in March, but we had a little situation, and unfortunately we didn't connect in order to make it happen. He came to the studio, but he couldn't find it.
I'll talk to Mr. Perry. We can hook that up, no problem.
Okay. So that's what it's going to be about. I want to have conversations with people who have something to say. That's because that's how we get things out. What we need right now is we need counterintelligence.
Crazy D say,
yeah. We need counterintelligence because they gotten so sophisticated that they have counterintelligence out. That's how deep the rabbit hole goes. It's like
double blind counterintelligence.
Oh man, they they do what they do.
I do want to get Crazy D in there to let us know, what you do, where we can see you, how we can reach you.
Okay, we produce the Film Review, Movies, Music, Culture, Politics, Society podcast every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We deal in all kinds of topics. We talk politics, of course, how music and movies reflect society and the culture and the politics within the society. You can catch me on Crazy D Film Dude on IG. On Twitter, it's Crazy D DVD, or you can just use the hashtag, which is hashtag TFR Podcast Live. That's hashtag TFR Podcast Live, and it all connects when you type that into Google. It brings up everything.
All right. Now, J. Cool does have the Zoom app Okay, I see he got like a YouTube app. I mean a YouTube. J. Cool, I don't know what YouTube you put in there. J. Cool done threw up a J. Cool video up in the chat. And
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. But J. Cool, you might as well just get on in here, bruh, and get some of your documentary questions in. But but one thing he did ask me, Coach Chiefs, and we got a little bit ahead of it, but J. Cool keeps bringing me, making sure that I get back to it. Okay, J. Cool is answering. He put up the trailer to the sizzle reel, the trailer to the documentary. But one thing he was asking me, and I meant to get back to it, is that J. Cool said he got to hook up his Zoom. Man, J. Cool, how you still don't have Zoom, bro? Anyway, after last week, chill. That was the greatest, man. Now that we got Zoom, I can talk to people. And a week later, he don't even have it. Anyway, he asked me, chill, you gotta make Cochise, or you and Cochise gotta have to talk about the birth of Freeze Defrost. All right, now Cochise, I heard the version you tried to tell the other day.
I just remember it was you.
Okay, you want me to tell the story?
Well, let me tell the version, because your version is the version, I'm sure.
My version is damn sure the version. Go ahead.
What I remember is Eastwood, the Kappa step, loved it. But the freeze, I can just remember me putting it in a song. Did you do it? I don't know. What
are you asking me? Are you okay? Let me tell you.
What was the story?
Okay, here we go. I was at Central State University. I went up there to get my brand, to get my Kappa brand. So they had a step show. Cochise repping Kappa Alpha Psi. I got my new pack. We up in there. So I was at Central State, and the brothers at Central State did this step, and the step was called Eastwood, where they would hit their canes, bap boom, bap 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 ba boom, and they would go freeze, a defrost, boom boom, and they would keep hitting it. Then they had this thing where they would say, "It's in my legs, y'all," bap boom, and they would make their legs go all crazy. The girls would be screaming, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting that. I'm getting that because I'm MC Chill. I got this whole chill 40 below thing going on. Freeze defrost sound right up my alley."
Right.
So later after the party, I start rocking rhymes at that same party at Central State, because we went every party we went to, no matter what college campus, we looking for the mic, right? Well, Coach Chiefs was a DJ, and he could rap, but as me, just a pure MC, any party I went to, I'm trying to get on the mic. So I'm at Central State, and I'm on the mic, and I'm rocking, I'm spitting my MC Chill, like 40 below stuff, and then I was like, freeze, a defrost, and I kept, because it was inside of this like whole cool, chill, frost, ice type flow. Right. So I got back to Kent, so I rocked it a couple more times. Then I was on WZAK, and it was one of the times that I did a solo rap because the rest of the Bomb Squad hadn't showed up. And Smooth remember the rhymes. I was talking about I came from a place called Emerald, which was warm spelled backwards. I was like that. So I told the DJ, because when you did the early Rappers Delight show, it was like Jeffrey Charles, a couple other cats, and they had to record it first to make sure you ain't say nothing crazy. So I said, okay, when I go freeze, take it, and then when I go defrost, he put like this little sound effect on it. It was like defrost, and so that was out. So I did it a couple parties. So Cochise came to me one day, Finesse standing there, and he was like, "Yo, Spesh, that freeze defrost is dope. I'm going on the radio this weekend. Can I use it?" Okay, now, so you're right. It did come from the Eastwood Kappa step, which I also brought back to Kent State. I brought the step. I brought the step back to Kent State.
So I got freeze defrost from you?
Oh, you damn sure got it from me.
I thought it was Eastwood. All right.
I got it from Eastwood.
All right. Hey, but I was being cool. I don't remember that, but I asked you. But that's cool.
I asked you. Asked me. You said, I'm about to go on the radio. Can I rock this freeze defrost? And I'm like, yeah. And Finesse was like, say no. Tell him no. Tell him hell no. Don't let him. No. They know.
I was using it ever since.
And
Oh man.
and then once it became freeze defrost, as you know, as your whole thing,
Yeah.
Finesse used to look at me and just be like this.
His head.
I told your ass to tell him no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but
thank
yeah.
you there, Spence.
Hey, no problem. That's on
I
the
remember
new.
Eastwood.
Yeah, it was definitely from the step
Hype,
Eastwood. That's 100% sure. But I started rocking. I said it on WZAK like way back in the day. But no,
Okay.
that's your thing. You done went all. But I had some rhymes that I was gonna bring it up a couple times about I was the great originator of the phrase defrost. Probably around after you put that report card out that said I was slipping.
I sure put that out. That was my camp. That was my. Hey, I admitted it right here today. I never admitted that.
I don't know. It wasn't a secret. We knew you did it.
I ain't do that.
You was number one on the report cards, man.
Yeah. I got talked into it because I almost got busted. Let me tell you what. I was over Johnny O's area. I'll never forget it because Simone was with me, right?
Right.
And I was like, "Hey,
Coco."
What's that? Yeah,
Coco.
So we ran up there and we're giving it out to the kid, and then I started recognizing other DJs. Can't remember who it was, but I swore Johnny O and them was up there with some of his people. I got out of Dodge, thought they saw me, but nobody saw me. We went on to the next side of town.
My man,
shot around the city, man. It was genius.
All right.
It was genius.
So J. Cole, there you got your freeze defrost story in there. Even though Cochise tried to say he made it up himself from the Kappa Step Eastwood. Oh yeah, it came from the Kappa Step, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, but I want to thank you because I think I hooked it up a little better than you. But that's
hey, oh, that is no doubt. Like dude saying, I made it a hot single. No, I had made it a hot verse. You made it a hot song. Oh no, you looked it up.
But
no,
you know what? But look at who used it. God, nobody was saying freeze and record. DJ Cool, all these people, man, come on. They got it.
So now the Kappas at Central State, they claim and they like, okay, just long as y'all know we the real originators of it. Well, y'all two on there clowning. We came up with the freeze defrost.
Oh, that cane step, man.
Yeah, that was a nice cane step for all the Kappas out there watching.
Used to hook it up. You hooked it up.
Go ahead, Crazy. I see with your hand up.
When they said freeze, defrost, did they freeze and defrost?
You know, I had to explain.
No, he's talking about the Kappa step. For sure. They stopped. They was beating with their cane. It was like a beat that went bop boom, bop 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 bop, and they went freeze, and they stopped. They posed. They had the cool pose, and then they went a defrost, and then they start stepping again. The ladies went nuts.
Okay,
that step was like
the.
Go ahead.
I remember being at some of the Cochise parties.
Yeah.
Audience when Cochise would explain it because you did
explain
at first. Then you say, when I stop the music, you freeze.
Right.
Yeah.
Put the music.
So when I say freeze, right. I just have to explain to everybody. When I say freeze, everybody stop that because nobody would get what I was talking about.
Right.
Yeah, but just in action though.
Yeah.
I actually got to see it.
Okay. Oh yeah, that was the bread and butter. I put heart and soul into that.
And then you start rap. You had a rap to explain it. You had I remember you had a rap part to explain it, special.
So when I say freeze, pause, and then defrost,
something didn't freeze. Yeah.
Defrost. Yeah, I had to explain it. So when I say freeze, pause, and then defrost.
That's it.
Freeze. The defrost. And sometimes, if I was feeling really good, I throw an ow in there. Yeah, man. I put my heart in it, man. It was like when I did that, it was like what they came to see.
Is there any video or film on any of this?
We didn't have any. We didn't have that.
Yeah,
only one I knew that took pictures everywhere was Silver B. You took more pictures than anybody there, Spence.
I had some photos, but I don't have any no film, no video documentary. Now somebody did hit me up the other day that said that they had your club style showdown on tape. I don't know if you still have a copy of that.
All that stuff burned up in the fire. Remember, we didn't talk about my car getting blown up in Germany. All that stuff got burned up, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh, drama tapes.
the next time somebody whoever that was that reached out to me and said that they had the Club Style Showdown recorded,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a hold of them and hook you up with them so you can get a copy of that because that's history. And I know J. Cool was like, yeah, we need a copy of that too for the documentary.
I want to hear one thing that ticked me off about that show though. I didn't have my mic up loud. I thought it just turned up just a little
Oh,
bit.
when you rap,
Yeah.
I don't. You know what? You say that,
Yeah.
but
Nobody
I remember when I heard it and you start rhyming. Oh my God, man! I'm not gonna go too much into it because I talked about that moment at length in the documentary on how I felt when I saw it. But oh my God, yeah, man. I don't know. You like I told you before, you got a great rapping voice. You have a great DJ voice. You have a good speaking voice. So when it came through, man, it was just sounded nice. And to hear somebody rapping on the radio, that was the first time. Like I said, I know for a fact that only one other person had rapped live on Cleveland radio, and that was Curtis Blow. Other than that, that was it. You were the next person to rap live on the radio, and man, it was. I mean, I can only imagine how it sounded to people listening on the radio because I was there in the building, but we could hear it coming through the speakers. And when you came on there and start rocking, I was like, "That's what's up." Things are very different now. I remember thinking that I could feel it, and I described it as a paradigm shift, not just from rapping, but your whole hip hop breakdown of that club style show, like changed the history of Cleveland hip hop forever. So yeah, good job, man.
Remember, we could tell at Kent State too, because back then, Kent State would start getting full on Saturday, Friday evening. Kent State started getting packed on like Wednesday.
Oh, people were coming to Kent State to see you. Sometimes they'd be coming there and you wasn't even there.
They did. Let me tell you, man.
They come on a Saturday like, Cochise, I'll spend it somewhere else.
But hey, for those that went to Kent State, I lived in Lee Brick Hall on the 9th floor, room 904. That's where I was. So it was
that was a little bitty room.
Right, little bitty room. It was way up there. So I used to have a Kappa light, a red light in my room. So people that came to Kent, and I talked about on the radio, they knew that was Cochise's room. And I'd turn the music up. And you hear my mixes, I'm playing tapes. So I used to see crowds of people down there, like looking up, everybody pointing up, go down there with them. And look up like, what y'all looking at? Well, Cochise's room's up there. And I'll be pointing like, yeah, I heard it was that right there. And yada, yada, yada. Used to have fun doing that.
And so Crazy D, just for you to know and everybody to know how connected we are in this story. When Cochise was saying he lived in Liebrick, he first lived in Kuntz.
Okay.
In Kuntz Hall, which I lived in Kuntz Hall. So we met as freshmen in the same dorm, in the same dormitory. So those are two people experiencing the same thing at the same time as young men, as 18-year-olds experiencing this thing together. So
it was crazy. Because, like I said, sometimes I'd go to Cleveland and DJ in 2 and 3 and 4 week spats where I wasn't at Kent, and then Chill and Finesse and then something new, and like I'm not even on top of my game anymore. There's better stuff going on at Kent, so I got to stay back at Kent, learn what they're doing, and do what I'm doing. And yeah, a lot of competition. Kent was the spot, man. It kept me in shape.
And a lot of MCs started. A lot. I couldn't. A lot of rappers started coming up at Kent. A lot of good MCs started coming up. A lot of MCs started, doing the early Rappers Delight show, the one that was before I was doing it. It was a version of Rappers Delight before that, and which I actually was on as a member of the Bomb Squad, of which I first rocked Freeze D Frost. But
but hey, Kent, they had when we started rapping in crowds, I know you were with your people and with my people, were always doing it, rapping. They had no choice but to be good because all of us were pretty good at it. So it's like, if that's what they're hearing, if you're hearing Cochise and Chill every day, right, and that's all you're hearing, you can't help but to be good.
MCs and DJs came to Kent, enrolled in Kent, looking for us.
Right.
Where they at? Where Finesse? Where Cochise? We're MC Chill.
Period.
I'm a
Bringing
rapper.
it,
I'm a
putting it,
DJ.
So
What y'all got?
teaching them. Right.
So hip hop came in for the DJs. What was DJ? What was the style like? Was blending happening before hip hop came in, or was it just transitioning of records?
No, blending. That was Bud. Bud
Yeah, but I
McFarlane.
don't. Nobody else in Cleveland was blending records before Bud.
Mhm.
Not that I know of.
I just showed up in '79.
I mean, the hip hop DJs started coming up,
That's what I'm
but
saying. Or
I
then,
mean, if they were doing it, and Vince maybe can address this better. But and when we talking about blending, we talking about mixing one record
making it,
into the next record, or maybe even the same record where you don't even know, you don't hear a change. Now maybe people were doing that, but all I remember was Bud McFarlane being the GOAT.
Well, I can
At
tell
that.
you what the transition point was. The transition point was when you went from using belt drive turntables to direct drive turntables.
Okay, that's right.
The tables that we had in the Rathskeller, they were belt drive. The only thing I could do was cue them up and have one ready to go when the other one finished and blending it in so that it was seamless. But it was a real challenge to do that. That was the work of it. Now right. You got technology that matches beats per minute.
Right. Oh yeah. Now
That's
yeah,
all that did.
Right.
I mean, I got an app on a Mac, and now I'm a DJ.
Right. You're right. But you're right. It was Cochise. He's right. Until it really with the advent of the 1200s.
Yeah.
The 1200 turntables. But I will tell you, Vince, and Cochise could probably speak to this better than me. DJ still found a way to do that because of the fact that they were cutting and scratching, or as Cochise called it, swipe and mix, by having the thing under the record that would make it slide. So you just wasn't going, platter to record. They had something up under, whether it was the felt thing or another record, which took the other side of your record.
Well, here's another factor. I wasn't messing up my vinyl.
Right.
So I'm not putting my hands, fingerprints, and all of that. What I'm saying? I had to maintain it
on another record underneath it.
Exactly. I'm not going to do that. So I still got albums that I had back then.
Did those belt drive turntables have pitch control?
No, they didn't have it back then.
No, they didn't. They couldn't do it because it wasn't a digital technology back then.
Yeah. See, I want to jump in. That was one of the things too that helped me at Kent, because I started back in that time. We didn't have pitch control. It was all built, like he said. So we were mixing. He's right. I had to keep that thing, which is why, remember I told you in the last episode I was getting booed a lot. Well, that was part of it, because there was no pitch control. So I'm making this record go faster than this other record. So when I turned it loose too soon, or lift my finger up and or whatever it did, but that helped me be a better DJ. Then I got good at it, where I could keep that thing going. And yeah, Lonnie B's right. Yeah. So that's what we had.
And speaking of the 1200s, and I know because just from because a lot of that time, Finesse was my roommate. He could watch, because the 1200s, the newer models back then had the strobe light on it.
Right.
And he could watch the strobe light because you could see on the platter, because the 1200s had those little grooves on the platter, and he could watch the light off of the strobe and tell the speed of the record. I was like, man, this is crazy. Man, y'all DJs was doing some incredible stuff, how to match up records. Like Cochise was earlier talking about beats per minute. Now Cochise and them had to do that on their own. They wrote it down on the records. Now, like Vince just said, you can pitch it up and match it like it's no problem.
Yeah, it's like real easy now. So not knocking it. That's what it is. So that's what it is. I figure at the end of the day, people don't care. That's how I felt. People don't care how good this is, mixing and this and that. Just make it sound good. So just
make it sound good. They don't care what you had to do.
They don't care how it come across. They don't care.
All right. Well, I don't think anybody else is joining us unless D, you got any other questions? Just get it in, get your coaches
in. He's like, I'm thinking.
I, I'm just honored to be here. You know, honored to be on the broadcast. You know, man. And yeah, I asked all the questions because I wanted to know about the early situation with the turntables and things, and that answered my question. So it was a lot of because you see it in the documentaries from the East Coast, but they don't ever really explain it. So I just asked the DJs that were there, you know what I'm saying, about the pitch controls and everything. And you know, so yeah, and everything else, beautiful, beautiful part two. Maybe it'll be a part three and four and five and six.
So Cochise, and I do remember Cochise named his turntables on the lids of the covers of the turntables. He had, was it Pearl One, Pearl Two?
And two. Yep. Pearl 1 and 2.
All
Yep.
right. So J. Cool is on the thread saying that was dope. J. Cool, I swear to God, if you don't get your Zoom, bruh, you called me all last week talking about how dope this was and how you could do interviews with the Zoom. And then a week later, you still ain't got the damn Zoom. Come on, man. Come on. But J. Cool did put the trailer of the documentary in it. Is Coach Cheese on there crying on the trailer? Smash.
Man.
Okay, I'm not. They have to wait and see. You got caught up. You got caught up, dude. We're gonna see if that makes it into the cut. You got caught up in the interview reminiscing. Okay, we can't hear you now, Special.
I'm saying I got caught up, man. You know, just brought back good memories, man. He brought it out of me like, whoa. Yeah.
All right, well, we go ahead and shut this down. No, Coach T said it's not. I mean, J. Cool said it's not in the trailer. Okay, by him saying it's not in the trailer, don't mean it's. They didn't edit it out. They just saying that you ain't crying.
Hard as Cochise crying in the movie. And I remember when it started. I ain't gonna give it away. I'm like trying not to. Like, I kept going. Like, dang, you know, like.
Woo! But
You
this
know,
gonna be a
looking
good
like-
documentary, man. They gonna keep
filming
working
this?
on it.
Okay.
I'm looking at him like, is he filming this? He's filming this. Right. I'm going, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they tricked you on that one. I think they did the Oprah. I think you said, okay, can y'all give me a minute? Can y'all stop the tape? And they say, yeah, okay. Don't stop that tape. Keep it going.
I got a question.
All right.
Once the script is written about Cleveland hip hop, right? Once the movie script is
The
written.
documentary, right.
No. The documentary.
Okay, the movie.
That's
Okay.
I move ahead. I think ahead. So once the script is written after the documentary comes out, right? Who do you want? What actor today would you want to play you?
Who are you talking to, Coach Cheese?
Both of you. All of you, because
I can't hear you, Coach Cheese.
Who I think have my personality like we see in the movies? Well, you think you say first. I'm trying to think who
would you have played in the
was
movie?
that guy?
Well, the tricky part is you're talking about a bunch of young kids. You're talking about, you got to have, 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
You are in the film business, Chill. You should know those.
I should know. Okay. I'm thinking, I might want to go, since you done put me on there like that. I'm thinking Jacob Lattimore. I think young Jacob Lattimore can go ahead and rock and beat me. How about that? I done found me a young cat who can act. He can sing. He can dance. I can't dance, but hey, Jacob Lattimore can play me, and I can have some moves while I'm rhyming. How about that?
Okay.
You made me go back on that one because you said show you a movie cat. I'm like, God damn it, you right. Let me figure out somebody. I had to give me a young dude.
I'm trying to see who was serious as a DJ. That's all I'm trying to think of. I think that actor that played Dr. Dre. When I watched what was that? Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton. That dude been in a lot of other stuff too.
The attitude that he had to go after his craft reminded me of my attitude going after. Mm-hmm. You know, he went after it. I was going after it, man. It was no.
Good luck with the same dude that played Dr. Dre playing Cochise. Good luck with that one.
Cochise, I thought you was gonna say I'll do like the Ice Cube and have my son play me.
Who, my son?
Yeah.
If he was that, yeah. I he got more hair. You know, he's gorgeous kid. You know.
Gonna put
They love him.
You had hair back then, Special.
I had a little hair. Yeah, I had hair. I had hair. But yeah, you know, well, my son could do it. He could do it. Of course he could.
who will play you?
I have no idea. I just had no idea, man. You know, back in the day, people used to tell me that I look like Billy D. Williams.
I can see that. You still do.
The Brian song version of Billy D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
So if there's somebody out there on that level, then it would,
Whoever the new Billy D is.
whoever that is.
I should think he looked like Billy D back in the day. Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. Vince had girls running. Matter of fact, girls didn't even say they were going to the Ratskeller. They say they were going to see Lonnie V. They didn't say, "Oh, we going to the Rat tonight." No, they said, "Oh, we going to see Lonnie V." I'm like, "Is he singing? Is he singing?"
It's hard to believe, but I'll accept it.
Oh, really? I used to be mad at you because a girl I used to like used to love you, man. It's like, and I tried to get in the Rat, but I wasn't old enough to get in because I had to turn 18, you know, because I got to school, I think 17, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Vince was undeniably, the year that he got there, he was the man.
Those were the days, man. I'll be honest with you. I thought about pledging.
What was you gonna pledge?
Yeah, we're gonna pledge.
Me and Cochise on you now.
This is what happened. I don't know why I was in the student center one day and the Sigmas were having a smoker.
Okay, all right. Next question.
But let me tell you, I walked in the room, I listened to the conversation, I'm like, nope, this ain't gonna work. I turned right around and walked right back out.
And let me say, and I always say we don't set trip. I'm just playing. You know, I love the Sigmas.
Yeah,
Some of my best friend is Sigmas, my roommate. I just talked to Sticks the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Nelson.
Crazy Eddie. Remember Crazy Eddie?
Crazy Eddie. Eddie would cut you. Eddie had a knife. He would cut you messing around with him. But yeah, no, big ups to the Sigmas. A lot of my good friends. I got friends in all the fraternities. So, you know, we just giving, you know, we just doing it like that right now because you're on here and y'all not on here. So it's all about the noobs. There you go.
Yeah.
Show them your thing, Coach Chief. Show them your patch. There we go. Bow. Okay. Showing our Illuminati allegiance. No, I'm just playing.
Cochise on that
Just
side.
playing. I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just gonna be on. Somebody gonna have that on a thing, a clip. He said it. You saw it. They're gonna play it in slow motion. Illuminati. You know how they do it, D. Anyway, I'm just playing. Show the clip after that to say I was just playing. Anyway, but we gonna go ahead and end this one. I appreciate y'all hanging out. All the people that chimed in and all the people that are gonna watch it after this, for history, for fun. You know, just to check us out if you hadn't heard from Cochise in a while, if you hadn't, you know, seen Crazy D in a minute, if you didn't know that Vince was Lonnie V, and you found out that he had a whole nother story going on, we appreciate it. Check us all out and all the things that you can see us on. Support Cochise's son, got his thing rocking.
See drip.
Okay, so now we got people. See, this was killing me. After we finish, I give the wrap up, then more people start popping in. So we're not doing that. Daryl Sullins, what's up? My man Daryl Sullins. J. Cole says give a shout out to the documentary. Okay, hold on. I got something I gotta read. She wrote a lot. It's from Judy Jones. She says, thanks for sharing your story. Wonderful history, amazing. It was an honor to go to Kent State with Chill and Cochise. And she worked at WZAK. What? Talk about it, Judy. Talk about it. So before anybody else jumps in here, I want to say what's up to Daryl Sullins, who jumped on at the end. You got to go back to the beginning, bruh, and check it out. So last words, we go do it. We go Vince, then we go D, and then we go let Cochise go ahead and take us out. Hold on. Oh, J. Cool is advertised, and he said Judy Jones. He might have to talk to you for the hip hop doc. So Judy, see J. Cool, Jay Glover in the thread. Hit him up, converse, hook it up. All right, go ahead, Vince.
Okay, so tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, we got Dr. Charles Finch on 360 Info
Woo!
Network. Yes.
I sorry to
Okay.
interrupt you there, Vince. You said Charles Finch. I was like, woo, okay,
Yeah.
y'all not playing.
None other than Dr.
Wow.
Charles Finch.
Okay.
And then stay tuned. I'll be launching Open Door Cleveland on WOVU. It's going to be an hour-long show. I haven't been given a time slot yet, but I will be taping the first session of it on Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. And also, I'm going to be doing something similar to what my brother Kevin is doing. I'm going to be doing interviews with folks online, YouTube, and on Facebook Live. So that's going to be a part of the expansion of the Open Door brand, just to utilize these tools that we have at our disposal. You don't have to fly. You can just press enter. That's what's up. And of course, last but not least, we will be doing programming at Larchmere Arts.
Nice.
It'll probably be virtual as long as it has to be virtual. So at the very least, I'm going to bring some musicians in. We're going to create some music, stream it live. If that's what it has to be, that's what it has to be. But I'm itching to get back to it, man.
I know you are.
I have learned how to separate the keys from the bass on my keyboard. So now, in addition to being a keyboardist, I'm now a bassist. So I can travel small and make big noise.
Hey man, Vince, when you talk to Dr. Charles Finch, tell him I need an autographed copy of a Star of Deep Beginnings. Wow, man, he put it down in that book, bruh. Woo. Okay, you caught me off guard. I didn't mean to just make that noise when you was talking. You said Charles Finch. I was like, oh, okay.
Yep. I have the book, but it's not autographed, so maybe we could work something out.
Yeah. Well, I got the book, but I'm saying,
Okay.
I need that autograph on that one.
Okay.
All right. And the Vince, I wasn't saying, to just, promote your stuff. You always want to do it. I was just saying, if you had any shout outs for not shout outs, but any concluding thoughts on
Yes, I do. I think that the major thing that I want to express to everyone right now is to not live your life in a place of fear. Default to love. Just default to love. It's crazy out there and nobody really knows what is going on. But the one thing you can be certain about is who and what you are. And you strengthen yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually, and you will be okay no matter what happens. No matter what, you'll be okay. Live in love, not in fear.
All right. Crazy D.
Okay. First of all, this Sunday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, it's the film review on the Film Review Live channel on YouTube. This Sunday, we're going to be talking about the film All Day and a Night. Is it the greatest? Is it up there with Boys in the Hood right on Netflix? We're going to be talking about that. My closing thought on this is that this was a great presentation, as you always do, Chill. It's an honor to be with Cochise and V on this broadcast, as well as with you, Chill, on the cast. And we'll look forward to doing it again. And just like V said, fear is not the place to be. They will tell you that our history was always on our knees, and that is farthest from the truth. If you want to know the truth, back in the day, you had to use the Dewey Decimal System at the library, but now you got a computer in your hand. You just Google everything that you want to know. You'll see all the triumphs we have.
All right, my man. Special Cochise.
I gotta follow them. Yeah, hey, it was just an honor being with all three of you gentlemen, and Chill, just thanks for, I got the chance to tell my story, and look forward for that to that documentary, hip-hop documentary. Jay Cool, I know you all are working on, and just everybody that's just been associated with me, partied with me, just thanks for all the love you give me for all the years. Things that changed my life around. It's cool to see Lonnie B. You don't even know the impact he had on me, but it was a big impact at Kent State. So to hear him talk, and people tell me the impact I've had, and I know you all have impacted people, and everybody that's watching, you impact people, right? So, you know, just try to steer people the right way, and hopefully good things will come your way. And just want to plug my son, C Drip. You can go to his Instagram at C Drip one, right? So you spell it C Drip. He spells it Drip, JRIP. So it looks like CJRIP. So it's
Right.
C Drip. So that's how he does it. So his first single is called Bet It. And it's got the video done. You see it circulating out on Facebook and the internet. He just got his singles done. So we're getting the bio and all that stuff together. And want to say what's up about the Johnny O Nerd DJs. And, you know, Kermit's out there. Superstar Maker and Centipede with I believe it's WRNR Radio. But just support black business. You heard Johnny O say that one day on one of his broadcasts. Support black business. Okay, so and stay positive out here.
Okay, well, you know what, y'all hear from me on this site all the damn time. So all I want to say right now is thanks to everybody that's doing their thing. I appreciate you. I always tell Vince that was the first man to Cochise, you didn't know this. Vince gave me the microphone at the Rascaller one day, and I rock rhymes the Rapper's Delight. That was my actual first time rhyming in front of an audience. My very first time. And Vince handed me the mic. I was scared. The girls like, go ahead and talk to him. But yeah, so he looked at me like, I don't know what the hell you about to do with this mic, but if you do something crazy, I can take it back from you. But I went on ahead and hit a couple bars, and it was all like popcorn with Cheech and Chong and Ricardo Montalban on it. So yeah, appreciate that, brother. And he still continues to teach me things to this very day. So thank you. Crazy D, bro, always glad to have you. I still need to get on your show to make up for that time that I don't know what the hell happened. But you done showed me, you done popped up on my thing twice, and I ain't been able to get up on your show after that first time. That's when the brothers say, look, I invited you one time and you don't show up, that might be it for you. But no, looking forward to just, you know, doing our thing and showing up on your platform and doing whatever I can bring to it. So, in all the years that, you know, and it's funny, Cochise, because we, you know, us three, we talking like we old school OGs, which we are, but Crazy D done put in mad work. People talk about like, oh man, I remember Crazy D, you know, was, hey, that brother old school. He a pioneer in Cleveland with what he has done and what he has brought and all the platforms that he has made available to Cleveland artists, you know, from radio to retail. So, you know, appreciate that, brother. And special, you already know, you know, we go back since we were kids, and we had lots of fun in hip hop and in Kappa. So,
and thank you for giving me let me borrow Freeze Frost.
hey man, how much money did he say he made? Was it 80 grand, Vince?
Not
120.
120?
Freeze Frost.
No, I'm trying to connect those two, trying to see if I can get, like, you know, I might
Chill, you're not gonna let that go.
roll up on him like a Finny Shakur. Anyway, no, but he right. He shut that down. He said, yeah, but I really rocked it. And he damn sure did. Came front on that one. So, but all the times that we spent together, like I said, in hip hop and in Kappa, appreciate you coming on, talking to me. I think you created a Friday night show for me. I'm probably gonna have to continue to do something on Friday night that's a little different, kind of a one-on-one thing, other than what I do on Chill Talk. So, you know, thank you for that. And I appreciate all of y'all. We go shut this one down and do whatever it is we gotta do. So I'm up out of here on this one. Let me get my view on this one. I'm up out of here, guys. I love all of y'all. I'm out of here.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.